या नवीन टॉपिकची सुरुवात करतोय. सिंथेटिक पॉलिमर्स. Actually, this topic belongs to paper number 16, Analytical and Industrial Organic Chemistry. Actually, this is one of the important topic from the organic chemistry. And here, polymer chemistry is one of the important branch of organic chemistry. Actually, what is the importance of that polymers? या पॉलिमर्सचं इम्पॉर्टन्स काय आहे किंवा व्हॉट इज द नीड ऑफ detailed discussion regarding that polymer, because that polymers having a great importance in our day-to-day life. Actually, what are the various applications of that polymer? या पॉलिमरचे ऍप्लिकेशन्स काय आहेत? तर आपल्या डे टू डे लाईफ मध्ये आपण जर ह्युमन बिईंगच्या डे टू डे लाईफ कडे बघायला गेलो तर so many equipments, so many utensils, they are made up of the polymers. For example, suppose that pipes, agricultural pipes, then this is a tire also, then other equipments like bottles, then household equipments, and also furniture, and then various toys. And in our life, there is a vast role of that polymer. And therefore, we are discussing about that polymer in detail. And that polymer is a branch of, actually, polymer chemistry is a branch of organic chemistry, and it having a great importance in our day-to-day life. Okay, now let us discuss about the polymer. Actually, you are just well known about that polymeric compounds. Okay, what is meant by polymer? Actually, this is a Greek word, and poly means many, and meros means part. Means that compounds are having many parts. That many parts are just combined together, and there is a formation of polymer. Okay, let us see. This is a long chain compound, and it having number of units, small units, many parts are there, and that many parts are combined together, and they having some linkage between each other, and that such compounds are called polymer. Okay, means simply we can say that yes, polymer is a very large molecule. It having high molecular weight, and it is formed by linking of many repeating units together. Means very small units are there, and that small units are repeated many times, and there is formation of a long chain compound. There is a linkage between that small units, and that compound is called polymer. Suppose this is a small unit, and there is a n number of small units. There are many small units, and when that n number of small units linked together, there is a formation of a long chain compound, a compound with high molecular weight, and this is nothing but the polymer. That compound is called polymer. Okay, that small unit is called monomer. That small unit is called monomer, while long chain compound is called polymer. Okay, now here that process means where there is a conversion of monomer into polymer. That process is called polymerization. The process in which monomers are converted into polymer is called polymerization. Let us see a very simple example. This is ethene molecule. This is ethene molecule, or we can say ethylene. Suppose number of ethene molecule when it comes in contact. Okay, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. For just convenience, I have taken 4 molecules, but there are so many molecules of ethylene. Suppose that molecule undergo addition. Addition means here one of the pi bond undergo breaking, and there is a formation of new bond between 2 carbon atom. Okay, then again this pi bond undergo breaking, formation of bond between these 2 carbon atom. Similarly, next pi bond undergo breaking, formation of new pi bond between these 2 carbon atom. Similarly, this pi bond undergo breaking. Now this carbon form a bond with another. Similarly, this carbon form a bond with again another, and thus due to that addition of number of ethylene molecule, there is a formation of long chain compound. Okay, this is the long chain compound formed after addition of ethylene molecule, and that molecule is called polythene. This is called polythene. Okay, CH2, CH2, CH2. There is a formation of long chain compound. Here that last carbon again having bond with another carbon. Here also that carbon having a bond with another carbon. Thus there is a long chain of that carbon, and this is called polymer. And here that process is called polymerization. Now, instead of showing number of molecules, we can write that process in short. म्हणजे असे अनेक मॉलिक्युल्स दाखवण्याच्या ऐवजी हीच प्रोसेस आपण शॉर्ट मध्ये दाखवतोय. सपोज दिस इज अवर इथिलीन मॉलिक्यूल. This is our ethene molecule. Now, number of ethene molecules are there. Now we can write N means number of molecules are there. Okay, now that undergo polymerization and formation of there is a polythene CH2 CH2 CH3 long chain compound. Now instead of writing CH2 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 for a number of times, we can write simply CH2 single bond CH2. Then there is a bracket, and at the bottom of bracket there is an N. This indicates that CH2 CH2 in it is repeated for many times. आपण ब्रॅकेटच्या बाहेर एन लिहितो, याचा अर्थ काय आहे? That unit is repeated for number of times, and there is a long chain, there is a long carbon chain, and that is called as the polythene. Okay, thus this ethylene is the monomer, that ethylene is the monomer, while that polythene is the polymer, and that process of conversion of monomer into polymer is called polymerization. Okay, we are just discussing about the synthetic polymer, but before going towards, we are just introducing common concept of what is meant by polymer. आपण पहिल्यांदा बघतोय what is meant by polymer. Actually, polymer is a very large molecular weight compound, and it is always formed by linking a number of small units together, and that small units are called monomer, and that large molecule is called polymer, and that process, that means conversion of monomer into polymer, is called polymerization. Okay, this is the polymerization process actually. Now that polymers may be natural or synthetic. It may be natural or synthetic. Okay, do you know examples of natural polymer? Yes, very well known examples are, yes, cotton, then silk, wool, starch, cellulose, protein, and rubber. These are the examples of natural polymer. They can be isolated from natural sources like animal or plants. Okay, these are the examples of natural polymer. While that second line example, polythene, polyester, terylene, PVC, nylon 6, nylon 66, these are the examples of synthetic polymer. They are synthesized in laboratory. Okay, and thus natural as well as synthetic polymer having a great importance in our day-to-day life. Okay, they are used for making furniture, then fabrics, utensils, various household utensils, then toys, toothbrush, clothings, automobile tires, etc. There are so many uses, there are so many applications of synthetic as well as natural polymer in our day-to-day life, and therefore we must say that this synthetic polymers or polymers having great importance. Okay, this topic is very, very important topic from the organic chemistry. Okay, now let us see classification of polymer. Here we are going to discuss classification of polymer in detail. We have to study classification of polymer on the basis of different modes. On the basis of different modes, that polymers are classified into number of types. Now let us see classification of that polymer on the basis of their source. That means what is the source of that polymer? On that basis, polymers are classified into two main types. One is the natural polymer and second is the synthetic polymer. Now let us see examples of natural polymer. Yes, cotton, silk, wool, rubber, cellulose, starch, and protein. These are the examples of natural polymers, and they are isolated from the natural sources like plant and animal. For example, cotton, it is isolated from the cotton plant, while silk, wool is isolated from animals. Okay, thus these are the examples of polymer, that means which are isolated from the natural source. The second type is the synthetic polymers. Okay, examples are the polyester, again terylene, PVC, polyvinyl chloride, then nylon 6, nylon 66. These are the examples of synthetic polymer. They are synthesized in laboratory by using small chemical units, and such compounds are called, yes, synthetic polymers. Okay, thus they are just synthesized by using small chemical compounds. Okay, now let us, this is the first mode for the classification. Very simple mode, just on the basis of their source, from which source they are obtained. On that basis, they are classified as a natural and synthetic polymers. Now let us see second mode for the classification on the basis of their composition. On the basis of their composition, that polymers are classified into two main types. One is the organic polymer and second is the inorganic polymer. Okay, now what is meant by organic polymer? Example is the nylon 6, polythene, cellulose, protein, etc. Now, what is the property of that organic polymer? Here, that polymer chain is having carbon as the essential constituent. Means carbon is the essential constituent of polymeric chain. Then that compounds are called organic polymer. Nylon 6, that polyethylene, that cellulose, protein means natural as well as synthetic polymer. They are made up from the carbon chain. There is a long carbon chain and therefore they are called organic polymer. While second one is the inorganic polymer. Example is the glass and silicones. Actually, in this inorganic polymer, they contain atom other than carbon as the essential constituent of polymeric chain. Means instead of carbon, there is another atom. It may be silicon, it may be boron or phosphorus. And if polymer having atom other than carbon as an essential constituent of polymeric chain, then that polymer is called as the inorganic polymer. Okay, examples of this type is the silicone or glass. Okay, this is just a classification of polymer on the basis of their composition as an organic and inorganic polymer. Okay, now let us see third mode for the classification. And here, on the basis of their method of preparation, means how that polymers are prepared. What is the method used for the preparation of polymer? On that basis, polymers are classified into two types. One is called addition polymer and second one is called condensation polymer. Let us see one by one about addition and condensation polymer. First one is the addition. Polythene, polyvinyl chloride and polystyrene, these are the examples of addition polymer. Actually, what happens during the method of preparation? Actually, in this first type, addition polymers are prepared by using addition reaction. Means there is a rule of addition reaction that polymers are prepared by using addition reaction. What is the addition reaction? Yes, the reaction in which molecule combines together to form a single product. There is addition, and if polymer is prepared by using addition reaction, then it is called addition polymer. Thus, they are formed by addition of many repeating units together. And these are the examples: polythene, polyvinyl chloride, polystyrene. These are the examples of addition polymer. Okay, now let us see one example again how the addition reaction occurs during the formation. Okay, this is our ethylene molecule. Again, second ethylene molecule, third one and fourth one. Actually, if there are number of ethylene molecule, suppose they undergo addition. How the addition reaction occur? This pi bond undergo breaking. There is a formation of new bond between these two. Again, pi bond undergo breaking. Here there is new new covalent bond. Similarly, that number of molecule, ethylene molecule, they just adds with one another, and there is a formation of long chain compound. This is a long chain compound. This is a polymer, and how that polymer is formed? By the addition of number of monomers together. Number of monomers they adds together to form a polymer, and that polymer is called addition polymer. Okay, then let us see second type is the condensation polymer. Now, what is the condensation? Example is the terylene, then nylon 6, nylon 6,6. These are the examples of condensation polymer. Means in this polymer or during the preparation of polymer, there is a role of condensation reaction. Now, what is the condensation reaction? The reaction in which number of molecule comes together with the evolution of small molecule like water. म्हणजे अनेक molecule एकत्र येत असताना त्यामधून water किंवा अल्कोहोल सारखा small molecule बाहेर पडतो, and that reaction is called condensation. In addition, directly two compound adds together to form single product. But in condensation, there is evolution of small molecule like water or alcohol during the addition, and this is called condensation. Okay, thus they are formed by the condensation of number of monomers with the elimination of simple molecule like water or alcohol. Now let us see example of condensation. This is the synthesis of nylon 66. This is nylon 66. How the nylon 66 is prepared? It is prepared by using adipic acid and hexamethylene diamine. Okay, now here number of molecules of adipic acid react with the number of molecules of hexamethylene diamine. How the reaction occurs? Here that OH from the adipic acid and one hydrogen atom from the hexamethylene diamine, it form H2O. यामधून H2O बाहेर पडेल, बरोबर. आणि यामध्ये बॉन्ड कसा तयार होतो बघा. Here that CO and NH म्हणजे CONH यामध्ये नवीन बॉन्डचं फॉर्मेशन होतं. This is the new bond form. Okay, similarly that NH2 again form bond with another CO. इथला NH आणखीन एका CO बरोबर बॉन्ड तयार करेल. Similarly that another COOH, पुढचा जो COOH आहे, suppose it again form a bond with another NH, means that adipic acid and hexamethylene diamide, they undergo condensation. There is evolution of water molecule during the condensation, and that reaction is called condensation reaction. And polymer, which is prepared by using condensation reaction, is called condensation polymer. Nylon 66 is prepared by condensation of hexamethylene diamine and adipic acid. Therefore, it is example of condensation polymer. Okay, this is just about the classification of polymer on the basis of their method of preparation. There are two types, addition and condensation polymer. Okay, now let us see one more mode for the classification of that polymer. And this is just general physical properties. On the basis of their general physical properties, polymers are classified as into different types. One is the elastomer. This is the classification which is based on the general physical property. First type is the elastomer. Second is the fiber. Third one is the plastic. These are the three main types of the polymer, and that classification is based on the general physical properties of that polymer. Now let us see one by one about these three classes. First one is the elastomer. Now what is meant by elastomer? A very simple example of elastomer is the natural rubber, then synthetic rubber, silicone rubber. These are the examples of elastomer. Let us see picture of that rubber. Actually, this is synthetic rubber, right? Okay, we are using very commonly in our day-to-day life. Then this pipes of the rubber pipes. This is again example of the elastomer. Now, what is the property of that rubber? Yes, this elastomer is a polymer having high degree of elasticity. त्यामध्ये high degree of elasticity असते, म्हणून त्याला आपण elastomer असं म्हणतो, right? And rubber is the typical example of elastomer. Now, what is the property? Yes, they can elongate on stretching. त्याला आपण stretch केलं, they can easily elongate, and they comes back when they to the original shape on releasing the force. म्हणजे आपण त्याला स्ट्रेच केलं तर थोडंसं ते इलॉंगेट होतं, आणि त्याला आपण सोडून दिला, फोर्स कमी केला, रिलीज केला, they can goes to its original shape. And these are the called elastomer. Elastomer is a polymer which having high degree of elasticity, and they can be elongate on stretching and comes back to its original position when force is released. Okay, and the elasticity of this polymer, why they are elastic in nature? Because due to the weak intermolecular force between polymeric chain. There are different polymeric chain, and there is a weak intermolecular force between that polymeric chain, and therefore it is elastic in nature. And natural rubber, synthetic rubber, silicone rubber, these are the examples of elastomer. This is the first type. Then let us see second one, fiber. Now, what is the example of fiber? Yes, nylon, then terylene, orlon. These are the examples of that fibers. It may be nylon 6 or nylon 66. Let us see some pictures. Okay, this is the just picture of nylon. It is the fiber, example of fiber actually. Then terylene. Okay, terylene cloth. This is the example of terylene cloth again. An example of orlon. Okay, this is the orlon. Okay. Now, let us see what is meant by fiber. आपण fiber कोणाला म्हणतो आहोत? Yes, the polymer which can be drawn into a long and thin filament. ज्या पॉलिमरला आपण लॉंग आणि थिन फिलामेंट मध्ये ड्रॉन करू शकतो, That material is called as the fiber. Okay, that filament-like material is called fiber. Thus, the polymer which can be drawn into long and thin filament-like material are called fiber. They are having high tensile strength. म्हणजे ताण सहन करण्याची त्यांची स्ट्रेंथ पॉवर जी आहे ती खूप जास्त असते. ऍज वेल ऍज दे हॅव्हिंग रेझिलियन्सी. रेझिलियन्सी म्हणजे त्यामध्ये थोडीशी लवचिकता सुद्धा असते. येस, दे हॅव्हिंग high tensile strength and also resiliency. Okay, and the fiber polymeric chains are linked together by strong ester or amide bonding. Generally in fiber there is a strong ester or amide bonding, and these are the examples of fiber. This is the second type. Now let us see third type, plastic. Yes, again a very important example of polymer. Plastic, it having a great touch with our day-to-day life. Plastics, the polymers which can be molded into tough and flexible article of desired shape are called plastic. आपण ज्या पॉलिमरला मोल्ड करू शकतो into tough and flexible article, वेगवेगळ्या शेपचे, they are called plastic. त्यांना आपण प्लास्टिक असं म्हणतो. That plastics are again divided into two types. One is called thermoplastic and second one is the thermosetting. Now let us see one by one. First about the thermoplastics. Now what is meant by thermoplastic? Example of that thermoplastic is the polythene. Very simple example, polythene. Then PVC, nylon and terylene. These are the examples of that plastic. Actually, this is just a picture of that polythene carry bags. Okay, polythene carry bags. Then this is example of polyvinyl chloride pipes. किंवा आपण शॉर्ट मध्ये याला PVC असं म्हणतो. PVC. We have studied picture of nylon and terylene in last slide also. Okay, these are the examples of thermoplastic. Polythene, PVC, nylon, terylene. These are the examples of thermoplastic. Now, what is the property of thermoplastic? That thermoplastic can soften on heating and stiffen on cooling. त्याला आपण हीट केलं तर ते सॉफ्ट होतात, मऊ होतात, आणि कूल केलं कडक होतात. स्टिफन मीन्स कडक होतात. Thus, this is the property. Plastics can be softened on heating and stiffened on cooling. Such plastics can be remolded into many desired shapes. त्याला आपण remold करू शकतो. Then they are linear polymers and which are soluble in organic solvent. This is again property. They are easily soluble in organic solvent and they are the linear polymers actually. Okay, this is just about the thermoplastic. What is the main property of thermoplastic? Yes, they can soften on heating and they are stiffened on cooling. They can be remolded into another equipments with desired shape on heating, and they are the linear polymers and which can be soluble in organic solvent. And these are the examples of that thermoplastic. Let us see second type, thermosetting. Examples of the thermosetting are bakelite, urea formaldehyde polymers, etc. This is picture of bakelite for actually. Okay, these are bangles, yes, made up from the bakelite polymer. Then again, these buttons of the various cloths, ready-made cloths, they are again made up from the bakelite resin. Then this is actually adhesive. They are generally used in furniture. For example, they may be particle boards or another material used for the furniture, and in that furniture that urea formaldehyde is used as an adhesive. या फर्निचर मध्ये युरिया फॉर्मॅल्डिहाइड हे adhesive म्हणून यूज केलेलं जातं. Now let us see what is meant by thermosetting. Okay, thermosetting is a plastic which on heating undergo cross-linking formation and which becomes infusible mass. Means after heating it becomes infusible mass and therefore it cannot be remolded. आपण मागचं एक्झाम्पल बघितलं होतं thermoplastic. It can be remolded after heating, but thermosetting cannot be remolded after heating, and this is the property of thermosetting. Actually, they are cross-linked polymers and which are insoluble in organic solvent. They are not soluble in organic solvent. Okay, and they form infusible mass after heating, therefore cannot be remolded. Okay, this is just a thermosetting. Okay, let us see next mode for the classification. And in next mode, they are classified. Actually, this is the mode which based on their structure. On the basis of their structure, they are classified into different types. One is the linear polymer. second is the branched polymer, and third one is the three-dimensional polymer. That three-dimensional polymer is also called as the cross-linked polymer. Now let us see one by one about this classification. Actually, that classification is based on the basis of their structure. What is the geometrical structure of that polymer? On that basis, they are classified into linear, branched, and cross-linked polymer. Let us see one by one. First, about the linear polymer. Okay, this is the picture of linear polymer. Actually, that polymer consists of long polymeric chain, and they are not linked laterally to other chain. Means suppose this is the first polymeric chain, this is the first polymeric chain, then this is the second polymeric chain, and that different chains, polymeric chain, they are not linked with one another. And that type of the polymer is called as the linear polymer. Example, very simple example is the polythene and PVC, polyvinyl chloride. These are the examples of linear polymer. And in that case, number of polymeric chains, they are not linked laterally to other chain. Okay, let us see second type, branched polymer. This is the picture for the branched polymer. So what is the property? Actually, this is a polymeric chain. This is the main polymeric chain actually, and it consists of some branching. There is one branching, here also branching, here also there is a branching. Thus, in this polymer consists of a branching to the long polymeric chain. That long polymeric chain having some branching, and that type of the polymer is called as the branched polymer. Okay, now here the structure of the branched polymer is linear with some branching. Example is the amylopectin, then a glycogen. This is the example of branched polymer. Okay, now let us see third one is the three-dimensional polymer or cross-linked polymer. Let us see picture. Okay, this is a cross-linked polymer. Now what is the property? This polymer consists of cross-linking between long polymeric chain. Okay, this is long polymeric chain. Actually, this is a long polymeric chain. Again, this is long polymeric chain. Again, this third long polymeric chain. Now, what happens here? There is a cross-linking. Here also there is a cross-linking. Here also there is a cross-linking. Thus, long polymeric chain, they are cross-linked with one another. And that structure looks like actually cross-linked. And therefore, it is called cross-linked polymer or three-dimensional polymer. Okay, this is just about the third type. Example is the bakelite resin, then vulcanized rubber. These are the examples of cross-linked polymer. Here, long polymeric chains are cross-linked with one another to form a three-dimensional network. Okay, this is just about the classification on the basis of their structure. Okay, what is the nature of physical, actually geometrical nature of that polymer? On that basis, there are three types: linear, then branched polymer, and cross-linked polymer. Okay, now let us see last mode for the classification, and that last mode is based on the basis of their monomer. Means actually what is the nature of monomer? On that basis, they are classified into two types. One is the homopolymer, and second one is the heteropolymer. Okay, these are the two types of the polymer on the basis of what is the nature of monomer. आपण तो polymer तयार करण्याकरिता what type of the monomers are used? On that basis, there are two types of the polymer, homopolymer and heteropolymer. Let us see one by one. The polymer, which is made up from single type of monomer unit, means during the preparation of polymer, if we are using single type of monomer, then that polymer is called homopolymer. Example, polythene. This is the example of homopolymer. Let us see how polythene is prepared. Yes, this is the preparation of polythene. Here, ethene, number of ethene molecule, when adds together, they undergo polymerization. We get a long chain compound. There is a bracket, and at the bottom of bracket, we are writing N. Means that unit is repeated for many times, and this is called polythene. Okay, now how that polythene is prepared? It is prepared by using single type of monomer. Single type of monomer, and therefore it is called homopolymer. If polymer is prepared by using single type of monomer, then it is called homopolymer. Let us see second type, heteropolymer. This polymer, which is made up from different types of monomer, means that polymer is prepared by using different types of the monomer, and it is called as the heteropolymer. Example is the nylon 6, nylon 6,6. Let us see synthesis of nylon 6,6. Okay, this is nylon 6,6. This one is the nylon 6,6. How it is synthesized? By using adipic acid and hexamethylene diamine. Means that two molecules undergo condensation. Means there are n number of adipic acid, there are n number of hexamethylene diamide. Means there are two different monomers. There are two different monomers, and that polymer is synthesized by using different monomers. Then it is called as the, yes, heteropolymer. Okay, this is heteropolymer, example of heteropolymer. This is just about the classification of polymer. In this topic, in the introduction, we have studied what is meant by polymer, then also about the क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ पॉलिमर इन डिटेल. यामध्ये आपण वेगवेगळ्या मोड्सना त्याचं क्लासिफिकेशन स्टडी केलेलं आहे. मग यामध्ये जे वेगवेगळे मोड्स आहेत, फर्स्ट ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ देअर सोर्स असेल, ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ देअर स्ट्रक्चर असेल, ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ मेथड ऑफ प्रिपरेशन असेल, ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ नेचर ऑफ मोनोमर असेल, किंवा ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ देअर जॉमेट्रिकल स्ट्रक्चर असेल, हाऊ दॅट पॉलिमर्स आर क्लासिफाईड, हे यामध्ये आपण स्टडी केलेलं आहे.